Mike Florio on Pro Football Talk went through the league's official website talking about replay review and other suggestions. They are talking about reverting back to true sudden death in overtime. True sudden death. Now, they changed this in 2010 after the Saints advanced to the Super Bowl with a decent kickoff return, a few first downs. There were some questionable defensive penalties, and a walk-off field goal. So now you can match, right? Field goal for field goal. If it's a touchdown on the first drive, then it's game over. But you have an opportunity most times, in most instances, to get the ball back. And now they're talking about reverting back and having this coin toss determine who may win a lot of these games. Woo!
If they want to do that in the regular season, knock yourself out. You cannot determine the NFC Championship based on a coin toss. Can't do it.
I've come around to your thinking on this. At first, I was like, well, if you lose, then you messed up your opportunities in the first four quarters. You had 4 quarters to win it. But I've come around more to your side of thinking, and I rarely say that.
Look, I mean, just go down the list of things that I've said that were unpopular at the time that come true. Defense doesn't matter. Running backs don't matter. It's all about the quarterback. Linebackers don't matter. I mean, all these things are now accepted.
Well, I mean, I think we all know about the quarterback. But the reason for this is they're talking about more short week games.
Then you know what? I would rather, in the regular season, not have overtime and just have ties than I would a freaking coin toss.
I think the public would rather get a winner and a loser. We love a winner and a loser. We hate ties. I think people would rather, I would rather have a winner and a loser from overtime than a tie, especially when I'm getting some extra football with the overtime as well.
What's the most popular sport in the world?
In the world?
Yeah.
Soccer?
They have ties?
Shootouts.
Yeah, the World Cup. Like I get a regular EPL game. I don't know, but I assume regular EPL have ties. Soccer's. I always hear ties in soccer. I always hear about ties.
I have no idea. I have no clue. That's Zlatan.
I'll ask Zlatan. If just and as the Fantex point out, you have a tie. You want to get the most aggressive end to a finish in the game. You will get it. You will get entertainment at the end. There will be, with 30 seconds left, nobody taking a knee. You're going to get aggressive finishes because they don't want the tie.
All right, I'm just seeing this, so help me understand it as I'm going to go through it. The Ravens are trying to propose something called spot and choose. Works like this. One team, this is for overtime. One team picks the spot of the ball to start overtime. The other team chooses whether to play offense or defense. If the one team picks, for example, the offense's own 20-yard line, the opponent would then choose whether to play offense from their own 20 or to play defense, with the other team having the ball on its own 20. This would minimize the impact of the coin toss. It would be used only to give the team that wins the toss the right to pick the spot of the ball or to choose offense or defense. I'm already confused.
That already sounds dumb. It's too convoluted. It's too convoluted. Ravens. Yeah, no, just do the college one, man. But move it back. You don't need to make it at the 25-yard line. Move it back. You get a possession, I get a possession. You get a car, I get a car. I mean, everybody gets one.
I think we all like this next possible rule change. Roughing the passer could finally become subject to replay review. Roughing the pass could become subject to replay review. That, according to the NFL Network.
Thank God. There is nothing more frustrating than a 3rd and 15, and then you put your hand up in the air, and it happens to brush the helmet of the quarterback.
Yeah.
There are 2 reasons to throw a flag. You gained an unfair advantage with your penalty, or you had intent to harm. When you throw your hand up and it brushes the helmet, That's not intent to harm. Have a replay review this.
And the reason that Florio wrote good news, roughing the passer, could become subject to review. Bad news, roughing the passer, could become subject to review, is because how they butchered the replay review a couple years ago that they abandoned quick. They did not overrule things. They were way too conservative. They screwed up the plan. There was no point in even changing it because they didn't make calls that they should have overturned.
Yeah. Thank God. That they're going to do this. I understand that the way they did it with the replay review of the pass interference, that was butchered. But I think this is much more cut and dry than a pass interference.
I also think that, it's hard. I want the replay review of when the quarterback's driven into the ground. That's very tough to call live.
Yeah.
They remember that penalty, the driving into the ground penalty?
Yep. But, if you kind of just bump a quarterback and he flops, you could clearly tell a flop on a replay review. And if people are saying intent in a rule, how could you possibly imply someone's intent? They do that all the time, man. I mean, look at a check swing. One of the rules on a check swing, whether it's a strike or not, is whether it was their actual intent to swing. Now, can they tell your intent? I don't know, but they try to judge it. There's intent. There's intent on that. You can clearly see intent to harm. You can clearly, when you just throw your hand up in the air to block a pass and you accidentally graze the helmet of the quarterback, there's clearly no intent to harm. That's easy to spot.